Sandhan. All Gujarat Integrated Classroom.
સેટેલાઇટના માધ્યમથી જોડતી કડી એટલે સંધાન.
Welcome to All Integrated Classroom Sandhan. Dear students, today we will discuss the topic critical path method and program evaluation and review technique in the subject of statistics. This operation research technique is well-known techniques used for project management. Before studying the critical path method and program evaluation and review technique, today we will see what is the project and how it is managed. So let us start. What is project? So a project involves a large number of interrelated activities that must be completed on or before a specified time limit and in a specified sequence with specified quality and minimum cost of resources used such as personnel, money, material, facilities, space, etc. So any project have an objective that the project should be completed within a minimum time and incur a minimum cost. So here there are different examples of the project. Suppose we have to construct a bridge, we have to construct a highway, power plant, we have to repair and maintenance of an oil refinery or an airplane, design, development and marketing of new product, research and development work. All these are large and complex projects. So in order to manage this project, we have to use this operation research techniques, critical path method and PERT, program evaluation and review technique. Now, a project involves a large number of interrelated activities. Therefore, it is necessary to prepare a plan for scheduling and controlling this activity. So, an operation research technique used for this planning, scheduling and controlling large and complex projects are also called network analysis, network planning or network planning and scheduling technique. So here the project should be represented as a network of activities. Now what is network? A network is a graphical presentations of arrows and nodes for showing the logical sequence of various activities to be performed to achieve project objectives. So all the activities that we have to perform in a project, that should be displayed or it should be planned on a paper using network diagram. So network diagram consists an arrows and nodes. The activity will be denoted by arrows and the event will be denoted by nodes or circle. Operation research technique used to manage these projects are CPM and PERT. Now, what is the basic objectives of CPM and PERT and which types of project they are used in reality? So today we will discuss and we will compare both the technique. Basically, both the technique, critical path method and program evaluation and review technique have the same objective that it will minimize the total project completion time. The critical path method that was developed by AI DuPont company along with the Remington Rand Corporation during 1956 and 58 to monitor the maintenance of chemical plant. Useful for a project in which duration of the activities should be known with certainty. While the PERT technique developed by a research team of US Navy's Polaris nuclear submarine missile project for efficiently plan and develop the Polaris missile system. Generally, PERT technique is useful for a project that has an element of uncertainty in the estimation of activity duration. Both the techniques have the same objective, that both techniques will determine the total minimum project completion time, but they have some basic differences. Critical path method stands for CPM and PERT stands for Program Evaluation and Review Technique. In critical path method, completion time of the activities are known with certainty, while in PERT, completion time of activities are unknown. In critical path method, the projects should be of repetitive nature, while in PERT, the project in which activities are non-repetitive. Critical path method, the duration of the activities are known, while in PERT, the duration of the activities are estimated from three time estimates, that is optimistic time, pessimistic time and most likely time. In critical path method, the activities are activity oriented technique. So emphasis will be given when the particular activity will be completed, and PERT is an event oriented technique and emphasis will be given when a particular event will be completed. Critical path method is used in a project of repair and maintenance in which the activities are repetitive and the duration of the activities are known with certainty, while PERT is used in a research and development project in which the duration of the activities are unknown. So we have to estimate the duration from the three time estimates. What is the basic significance of critical path method and PERT technique? So a network diagram translates the complex into a set of simple and logically arranged activities. So it is better that how the whole project will be denoted on a paper in the form of network diagram. It helps in clarity of thoughts and actions. The critical path method and PERT technique helps in clear and unambiguous communication developing from top to bottom and vice versa among the people responsible to execute the project. The detailed analysis of network helps the project in charge to look into the future. Delays and holds up during the course of execution should be minimized. Using critical path method and PERT technique, the division of responsibility, so effective coordination among different department and agency should be done. It helps in timely allocation of resources to various activities for optimum utilization of the resources. Mainly, the critical path method and PERT technique will be divided into three phases. One is planning phase, second is scheduling phase, and third one is controlling phase. Let us see what we have to do in planning phase, in scheduling phase and controlling phase. In planning phase, we have to identify all the activities of the project and we have to develop a work breakdown structure. We have to determine the requirement of the resources such as man, material, machine, money, etc. for the activities listed on a paper. We have to assign the responsibility to each work package, allocate the resources to work package, and estimate the cost and time at various levels of project completion. We have to establish the control channel for project management. So we have to divide that who will be responsible for a particular event that should be assigned. In scheduling phase, we have to identify the people who will be responsible for each task. We have to find the estimates, the expected duration of the each activity that we have listed in a planning phase. We have to specify the interrelationship, that is the precedence relationship among various activity, that which activity should be completed before starting the another activity, that precedence relationship should be noted. Develop the network diagram showing the sequential relationship, and based on the time estimates using critical path method and PERT technique, we have to calculate the total project duration. Using that technique, we have to identify the critical path and we have to calculate the floats. We will discuss about the floats in detail after completing the critical path method and PERT technique. While in controlling phase, we have to evaluate the actual progress against the plan and schedule. If any delay will be occurred in the controlling phase, means if the project is not as per the schedule, we have to reschedule the uncompleted part of the project and we have to revise it. So our objective that the project should be minimized, that should be satisfied. Now there are two network components of the critical path method, that is, one is event, another is activity. The event in the network diagram is represented as a project milestone, such as the start or completion of the activity or activities, and occur at a particular instant of time at which some specific part of the project has been or is to be achieved. We know that the project milestones on the roadside, that will indicates that how much distance we have traveled and how much we are far from our destination. So here in project management, the event will identify that how much part of the project has been completed and how much part we have to yet complete. So event will represented as a project milestones. Events are represented in a network diagram as a circle and nodes in the network diagram. Now events are also identified by the numbers higher than that allocated to its immediate preceding event to indicate the progress of work. The numbering of the events must start from left to right and top to bottom. So event should be numbered in such a way that the event at the tail event should be always smaller than its head event. We have to take care that there is no duplication of numbering. So event number should be uniquely identified in the network diagram. The second component, that is, before starting the second component, we will see that there are two types of events. One is merge event and another is burst event. Merge event means an event which represents the joint completion of more than one activity is called a merge event, and burst event, an event which represents the initiation or beginning of more than one activity, is called burst event. Let us see the graph. Here the event in such a way that the other activities are completed into this event. So this event is considered as a merge event, and the event here, all the activities are initiated from this event. So this event is called a burst event. The second component is activity. Activity will represent the project operation or task that we have to conduct. So activity is a project operations. Each activity except the dummy requires the resources and takes a certain amount of time for the completion. Arrow is used to represent the activity, with its head indicate the direction of the progress in the project. Activities are identified by the numbers of their starting tail or initial event and ending head or terminal event, or it can be identified using any symbol A, B, C, D and so on. An arrow ij between the two events, the tail event I represents the starting of the activity and the head event j represents the completion of the activity. Here in graph we have shown that the activity ij, okay, denoted between these two nodes, starting event and completion event, that is also denoted by ij in a parenthesis, or it can be denoted using any symbol A, B, C, D and so on. The activities are further classified into three main categories. One is called a predecessor activity, another is successor activity and dummy activity. The activity which must be completed before one or other activities starts, it is called a predecessor activity. An activity which started immediately after one or more other activities are complete is called successor activity. And an activity which does not consume either any resources and or time and added only to establish the given precedence relationship among the activities of the project is called the dummy activity. Dummy activity in network diagram is denoted by the dotted line, while the activity will be denoted by the solid arrow in a network diagram. Critical path method and PER technique, whatever the network is drawn, that will be of two types. One is called a activity on node, that is AON network diagram, and another is activity on arrow, that is AOA network diagram. Activity on node, the activities are denoted on a node and arrows are used to indicate the sequence of requirement. Do not have the starting and ending node for the whole project in AON network diagram. While activity on arrow network diagram, the activities are denoted on the arrow and nodes represent the point in time or instance when an activity is starting or ending. Single beginning node from which all activities with no predecessor, and there is single ending node in which all the activities are merged. So in AOA network diagram, there is one starting event and one ending event. Here in AOA network diagram, the activity is represented on the arrow. Let us compare the two network diagram, AOA network diagram and AON network diagram. The activity A will be denoted on the arrow, while in AON network diagram, the activity is represented on a node. So here we can find if the activity B must follow A, so here activity B that must follow A, while here in AON network diagram the activity is denoted on a node and B must follow A, while B and C must follow A. So here in AON network diagram, B and C are the successor activity, while A is the predecessor activity and denoted on a arrow, while in AON network